Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we have three 1938 Mercury dimes from the United States of America. We have the Philly, which is here. I don't have it turned over because there's no mint mark. The Denver, which is here, and the San Francisco, which is here. These are relatively rare coins in terms of production. They didn't make a heck of a lot of them, but they're not really expensive until you get up to an MS-63 or Mint State 63 or so. Many of the coins look like this one here on the left. Pretty worn, lots of tarnish. In 1938, a dime was worth a lot and people used them constantly. So how many did they make? Well, the Philadelphia Mint in 1938, they made 22.2 million. And this coin is worth about $80 if you get the 65 full split in rounded bands. The FSB or the FB, however you want to describe it. We'll talk about those bands when we get a little further in. At the Denver Mint, they made 5.5 million, and that is worth about $62 at MS65 SB or FB. And then at the San Francisco Mint, they made about 8 million. So all told, they made about 35 million of these, almost 36 million. The San Francisco Mint at MS65 FSB is probably worth about $1.60. But the San Francisco Mint is where the weirdness really starts. The San Francisco Mint, 1938, they made 8 million of these, and in 2019, one of these sold at auction for $364,250. Yes, $364,250. In other words, $1,000 a day for a year for a San Francisco Mint coin. Now, how's that even possible? PCGS says there's one that is graded at 68 plus full bands for the San Francisco Mint. There's one at the Denver Mint that's graded at 68 plus full bands. And there's one that PCGS from the Philadelphia Mint grades at 68 plus full bands. So let's look at the difference between the value. $15,000 for the 68 plus at Philly. $12,500 for the 68 plus at Denver. $364,000 for the 68 plus at San Francisco. And they actually made more at San Francisco than they did at Denver. It came in kind of right in between. So I don't have any real reasons why, other than some people got into a bidding war. There's only one of them. So whenever there's just one, you have to be pretty careful, because if somebody wants the one, or a bunch of people want the one, if more than somebody wants the one, and they have everything else in their collection, they might very well go to tremendous lengths to buy it. What about the full bands? Well, the bands on these ones, you can't even see them. Let's take a little bit of a look at the bands in the back of this one. Yeah, you really can't see them. Let's see if we can find any that you actually have some bands on. This one's a little bit better. So what happens is, this is the so-called fasces, or fascies. There are two bands that go across the top, and when they say FSB, there has to be a separation between the two bands. Two bands that go across here, two bands that go across here, and then some kind of ribbon that kind of swings around it. Olive branch in the back. So you have to look at those bands and make sure you can see them both and they're separated. Those bands and they're separated, and those bands and they're separated. And that's where we're starting to talk about for the San Francisco Mint in 1938, $364,000 worth of a dime. And that's what happened in 2019. All right, so what other coins did they make in 1938? Well, of course, they made the pennies. This is a 1938D, and same kind of Lincoln on the penny. There's a Denver Mint, of course. And then on the back, remember, in 1938, we had the wheat ears cents. And they made these at three different mints. They made the Denver, they made the San Francisco, and they made the Philly with no mint mark. They also made nickels in 1938. Here's a 1938, and I'm showing you this. Remember, they didn't have the FS on the nickels. And the nickels are going to be on the back. They made the Denver, the San Francisco, funny little S, 1938, and the Philly, again, no mint mark. They made the quarters. They only made the quarters at two mints. It's a 1938 Washington quarter. They made it at the San Francisco Mint, and they made it at the Philadelphia Mint. You can't see it very well there, but no Denver Mint quarters in 1938. And then they made the Standing Liberty half dollars. This is the 36. I didn't have a 38 right on hand, but they made the Standing Liberty half dollars in 1938. Eagle on the back and the vegetation stuff there. Oh, and they made one other coin, not in the United States, but they made a bunch of coins actually in Britain. And this is one of the first for George VI, Queen Elizabeth's father, 1938. And this is the sixpence. And there he is right there. I know Queen Elizabeth just passed. And we'll have some Queen Elizabeth videos coming up. And this is her father, one of his first years, the 1938 sixpence. At a just like in this kind of condition that you see here, it's probably just worth $3 to $4. So I would pick some up if I could. Is you're not going to lose much on them. All right, that's all we have today from DC Coinwell International Coin Channel. I'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comments section.